to supply their radios. In the first year of the contract, 500 radios were supplied to the retailer. In each subsequent year, the number of radios supplied to the retailer was 50 more than in the previous year. Right, let me just write down this sequence. So in the first year there were 500. In the second year there was 50 more than that. In the third year there was 50 more than that, and so on, up to 20 years. The amount received by the company for each radio during year N of the contract was 20 plus N squared over £45. Okay, so that would mean that in the first year they would receive 20 plus 1 squared over £45. So they'd receive that for each of these radios. In the second year they would receive 20 plus 2 squared over £45 for each of the radios, and so on. The total cost of producing the radios during year N is modelled as 1000 plus 10n squared. That's the total cost. Show that, according to the model, the profit made by the company in year N is in pounds is given by that equation there. Well, I know the profit is going to be their revenue, how much money they get, take away their costs. And we've been told what the costs in year N is there. So the profit in year N will be their revenue, we'll come back to that in a moment, minus their costs in year N. Because that was the total cost. So I need to work out their total revenue in year N. So in year N, how many radios do they actually supply? Well, I know that they made 500 in year 1, they made 550 in year 2, they supplied 600 in year 3, and so on. So this sequence is going to be, we've got first term is 500, the common difference is 50, so it's going to be 500 plus n minus 1 times 50, or I can simplify that, it's going to be 500 plus 50n minus 50, or 450 plus 50n. Quick check of that. If n is 1, 450 plus 50 is 500. If n is 2, 50 times 2 plus 450 is 550. If n is 3, 50 times 3 is 150, plus 450 is the 600. So that is the nth term of this sequence, and that's the number of radios being supplied by the manufacturer in the nth year. And we know that they get paid 20 plus n squared over £45 for each one of those. So their revenue will be 450 plus 50n multiplied by 20 plus n squared over 45. And right, just expanding that out now. 450 times 20 is 9,000. 450 times n squared over 45 is 10n squared. 50n times 20 is 1000n. 50n times n squared over 45 is going to be 10 over 9n cubed. Then we've got the minus 1000 and the minus 10n squared. Just simplifying that then, the 9,000 take away the 1,000 is 8,000. The 10n squared take away the 10n squared is gone. We've got the 1000n plus 10 over 9n cubed. Rewriting that in order. And then we're going to factorise the 10 over 9 outside. And that gives the answer that we needed to show. So that is part A of this question done. Quite a lot of work there for 2 marks. But we've got the result. We're now going to use that result to continue with the rest of the question. So using this result here, remember this is the profit in the nth year. And part B says to use the standard results for the summations to show that the total profit made by the company in the first n years is given by this equation. So the total profit in n years is going to be the sum of all of the profits of the years up to that. So starting with the first year, going up to the capital nth year of 10 over 9 n cubed plus 900n plus 7,200. Right, I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to simplify by factorising out the 10 over 9. And I'm also going to split this sum up into being the sum of n cubed plus 900 lots of the sum of n plus 7,200 lots of the sum of 1. Right, using our standard results. The sum of n cubed is 1/4 capital N squared times n plus 1 squared. So this is that. Then we've got 900 lots of the sum of n, which is 1/2 capital N, n plus 1. This is the standard result for this. And then we've got the 7,200 lots of the sum of 1, which is the n. This is the standard result for this. Right. Trying to simplify this a little bit then. Well, I can do a couple of things here. I'm going to factorise out 1/4, and I'm going to factorise out an n, because there's 1/4 in each of these, and there is also an n in each of these. So from the first term, there will still be an n, there will still be an n plus 1 squared. This times this is this. In the second term, we've still got the 900. There will be a 2 and there will be an n plus 1, because this times this is this. And then from the third term, there will be, just going to give myself a little bit more room. There will be a 7,200 times 4, because this times this is this. Simplifying that then, the 10 over 9 times 1/4 is 10 over 36, or 5 and 1/18. 5 over 18. That is that. With the n still there at the front. Expanding these brackets then, we're going to get n cubed plus 2n squared plus n plus 1,800n plus 1,800 plus 28,800. And collecting up those like terms, we get our answer. So that's our answer for Tn, which is the total profits made by the company in the first n years of the contract. Part C says, at the end of the 20 years, the company found their total profit made from this contract just exceeded £500,000, and we need to use that information to assess the model. Well, according to the model, in 20 years, so T20 would be 5 times 20 over 18 times 20 cubed plus 2 times 20 squared plus 1,801 times 20 plus 30,600, which gives me, to three significant figures, a profit of £419,000, which is significantly less than what they actually found. So I'm just going to conclude here and say this is less than reality, or this is less than actual value. So the model is inaccurate. And we're done.